the fun side of the 1950s is that we were getting a lot of fun monster flicks and sci-fi flicks.
And you know what else was happening in the years leading up to this? We had begun launching satellites, and that always brings the danger of a new kind of radiation. Dr. Gilbert McKenna is soaked in this radiation for 5 to 6 minutes, and after the shock, he experiences no residual effects. However, he later learns that when exposed to sunlight, he transforms into a reptilian monster. While he says he'll do anything to get well, he experiences a full emotional breakdown and goes on the run, a murderous run, pursued relentlessly by the police until a final showdown high atop a water tower. And that is The Sun Demon, our movie.
So a little bit about Robert Clarke, though, is that he was born in Oklahoma City,
Hey.
1920, and he loved movies. He decided at an early age he wanted to be an actor. University of Wisconsin. He did some time there before he headed out west to become an actor. He did some stuff. He had an option at one point at RKO, but they dropped him after a few years, which is never a good sign for an actor. You get signed on by a studio, you get steady work. And if your work is good, you're going to keep doing that. And if not, they're going to send you packing. And unfortunately, they sent him packing. One of the interesting things that had this weird connection was he married Alice King in 1956, and she was a member of the King sisters. By marrying Alice King, he became the uncle to Tina Cole. Now, anyone who is in our age group, grew up watching television repeats in the 70s, might not know who Tina Cole is, but I did. She played Katie on My Three Sons. In the later years, she became Robbie's girlfriend and then wife, and then they had triplets. I didn't even know she dated actor Don Grady in real life for a period of time. But she was a member of the King family and actually did some singing. Weirdly enough, the way I became aware of this is that she actually did singing in an episode of My Three Sons. She had a good voice, and she was singing that song. I don't know the name of it, but the one that song's about going downtown.
Somebody kind of help and understand you. Someone who is just like you and needs a gentle hand to guide them along. So maybe I'll see you there. We can forget all our troubles, forget all our cares, and go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. No finer place for sure. Downtown, everything's waiting for you. Downtown.
Downtown. Da, 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 da,
I think
da.
it's called Downtown.
It might be. It might be. Anyway, I was like, well, she's got a pretty voice. Well, yeah, they did that because she was part of the King family. And so he actually became part of that and actually began in the late 60s when the whole kind of movie thing that was drying up. He joined them on tour and was on TV with the King family.
And yet, our blessings seemingly continue to abound, for which we're all most grateful. In fact, right now, we thought we might briefly bring you up to date on what's been happening with the King family.
Kind of this weird connection. This film has an interesting legacy. Even though the film was probably initially forgotten, it's become a cult classic. But it was remembered in 1965. So this will only be 7 years after the initial film. There was a pseudo-sequel short film made called Wrath of the Sun Demon. Now, it's all of 2.5 minutes of your time. So less than 3 minutes, and you can see the whole film. It's like a student film, but it's actually done rather well. Made by the amateur filmmaker Don Glut, I think is how to pronounce that.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yes, yes. And Bob Burns. He had a Sun Demon mask. So, hey, it's kind of like, we got a barn, let's make a show. We got a mask, let's make a movie. They put together this little short black and white film made through either the support or help of the University of Southern California, because that's where Don Glut was a student of the time. You've got this main character who is supposed to be Dr. McKenna. I think the actress calls him Gil. How that makes sense, it doesn't, because he's already died once. But hey, we're going to kill him off again. It's a fun little film that actually is not bad, all things considered, and in many ways is just as good as the Hideous Sun Demon. And honestly, it probably could have fit in, and you could insert that film somewhere, and you wouldn't really notice much difference. What I thought was fun is that supposedly, because nobody wanted to do the stunt work to go tumbling down the hill at the end of the film, Bob Burns took a G.I. Joe figure and did some modifications and used that. And so when you see the creature tumble, it's G.I. Joe falling off the cliff.
Does he have a teeny little mask on, or is it just G.I. Joe?
It looks like they did something that way. I'll admit, it kind of worked. When I saw it, I was like, I've seen worse. And then there is even a shot of G.I. Joe there at the bottom, kind of in a mangled look, And again, that kind of worked for me. So it's fun. And I know that the movie did get kind of, I guess, re-edited into a comedic spoof called What's Up, Hideous Sun Demon in '89. I can't judge it. I haven't seen it. I guess it's also known as Revenge of the Sun Demon. I do know that Robert Clarke was involved. He redubbed his dialogue for comedic purposes, but then later regretted being involved in the whole production. Sun Demon definitely has left a footprint. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I recommend people check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's got flaws. Fringiest moment of the movie is the bar scene where Trudy is singing the song.
Oh, and you mean her hands are moving in a way that doesn't go with the notes of the song?
Here's the thing, though, is that Marilyn King of the King Sisters, who was Clark's sister-in-law, she was originally cast for that role. Apparently she got pregnant, and so she couldn't do it. But she did write and perform the song Strange Pursuit. That is not Miss Peterson's voice, but that is actually the voice of Marilyn King of the King Sisters. I don't think that song necessarily is what the King Sisters usually sing. I'm going to just go on a leap of faith there and say, nope, I'm pretty sure this was a unique little tune. It is cringy, but in that whole moment is like, yeah, this is what you would expect in a B flick. That would never pass Hollywood. But when you're dealing with a lesser studio, yeah, sure. Let's get the Barb Floozy to sing a song, doing weird things with her. I don't know what she was doing with her right arm. At one point, it was kind of going up. Are you trying to half fly, do the chicken wing thing there? Fun film, though. I recommend it.
I agree 100%. I really, really like this movie.
Why the great suspense in this game you play?